This week in Weird Giraffe Games.
Hey, this is This Week in Weird Giraffe Games. I'm Carla, this is Nick. This is kind of a look into the life of a publisher. If you don't know us, we make games with classic mechanisms with a twist of weird, like logic and lore, Big Easy Busking, Tumbletown, Way Too Many Cats, games like that.
Yeah, I'm Nick from Weird Giraffe Games, and I've been helping behind the scenes, but now I'm in front of the scenes. So I'm excited to be sharing what we did over the last week with you guys.
Okay, and an important part of this and like a new part of our lives and stuff is that me and Nick both got super burnout with everything going on, and now we're trying to figure out how to be passionate and also productive in a healthy and sustainable way, and maybe we could all learn about that together because that's super important. Now let's talk about what happened this week. Let's start with you, Nick. What's something you did this week?
All right, so what I did this week was focusing on accounting and taxes. I feel like I'm the CFO of Weird Giraffe Games this week. It's been a nightmare kind of coming back up to accounting. We put it off for a while, and it's just really hard to remember what things were for what things and finding all of that. So that's been taking up most of my week, but it's almost done. We're coming very close to September 15th, which is the deadline for taxes to be submitted. So it's almost done. I'm excited to have that done.
Yeah, and that's the extended deadline because we put it off for 9 months. But also part of it is that you're actually documenting and making it so it won't take so long next time, and it's not every year a process we have to relearn and redo. And
yeah, I'm going to do it every month from now on, and you guys can hold me accountable for that. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so then we don't get 2 weeks of accounting where everything shuts down because accounting.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing this week. What were you doing this week?
Well, I had surgery, so that happened, and then I tried to rest so I didn't injure myself again. Because what I generally do is I don't rest enough, and then I hurt myself, and then I am hurt for longer than I should be. So I laid there and slept at least 12 hours a day, most days. Yeah. But we did get to playtest on one of the days, and we playtested what we're calling Logic and Larks for now. That's not going to be in the name, I don't think. But we ended up playing it with 3 players because I redid some of the scoring track because at certain points in the scoring track, things happen, and we're just tightening that up a bit, and it worked really well at 3. So yeah, I'm excited about that. One of the things we were talking about was when to draw cards, because normally you do that at the end of your turn in games, so you have the whole turn before to think about it. But it was questionable when you should do it in this game. So
yeah. I think it's really exciting, the changes that have been made to really make the game evolve over the playing of the game. Mm-hmm. I think people are going to be really excited to playtest the game.
Yeah, that was one of the major development things I did to it, where before it was kind of you play this game for a certain amount of time and it doesn't really change, but then I added on an escalating factor where the longer you play, the harder that the game gets. So yeah, I like that.
I think people should let us know if they want to playtest the game, and maybe we can do
we're not doing playtesting yet.
Okay.
We're doing playtesting with other games, like the Way Too Many Cats micro game. If you're interested in that one, we can get that out to you soon. But this one will take a little bit longer because rules need to be written.
Oh, that's right.
And proofed and stuff. They're somewhere. We need to finalize rules before we send it out.
Right now they're just in our heads.
Well, I mean, there's a sheet. Nick doesn't know about the rules that are written because he never writes them.
I don't read rules.
Or write them.
Or write rules.
So what else did you do, Nick?
So I was working on getting our things onto Amazon and experimenting with getting some ads to things. So you may have seen our horde of dragon meeples out on Facebook or social media somewhere. This is 140 dragon meeples that you could use for any game. So I was thinking last night when we were playing Root, I thought it'd be really cool if every faction was actually dragons instead of either otters or cats or birds. So that could be your Root. You could play Dragon Root if you had dragon meeples. And you can get them from weirdgiraffegames.com or go on Amazon. So I've been testing that out. We also got on Amazon our Logic and Lore play mats, this is giant. So if you got Logic and Lore at Gen Con or from
this is not an ad now.
you can pick it up on Amazon, and it's really exciting to get stuff up there.
Yeah, well, the exciting part is that it takes forever to get something on Amazon because you submit it and then they're like, no. And you're like, actually, yes, it has the things. And then they come back and they're like, we don't think so. And then I'm like, yes, please look at the documents I submitted with this. If for real, it's real. And then you go back like 20 times and then at some point they might say yes. They might say yes after like 3 times. It'd be cool if they said yes the first time because we have all the documents, but Amazon, how many times are we going to submit?
Yeah, so we're getting close to having almost all of our games that are still available on Amazon. Like right now, this camera is sitting on a box of Motleys that are about to go out to Amazon. So you could pick up any of our games with Prime shipping.
Well,
Nice.
and the important part about Amazon is that it makes it really easy for small publishers because you can just buy it, you get your Prime shipping if you already have Prime or whatever, and it just happens. Like, if you order from us, you have to like go to our website and that's all you're ordering is just from us, and then we have to manually go and like ship it from somewhere, and like just having the things in Amazon, even like just to use their shipping platform makes it really easy because like I am just tired all the time and I don't like putting things in boxes and shipping. Like having it shipped to you easier and faster means like you don't have to like reach out after a week and be like, hey, did this really ship or not? Or, you know, did you physically put it in a box for me and do the right thing? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So what else are you working on?
I was trying to get through all the emails because I actually haven't had inbox 0 since like 2020, because publishing is emails, so many emails. Well, I also try to like get everything into emails where like you could reach out on like 20 platforms, and so if everything is an email, that's really good for me because like I can just archive it when it's done, instead of like sometimes people message me on Discord and want me to do things, and then I look at it and then I have no idea whether I did the thing or not, so it gets lost in the abyss. So yeah, but something I'm using now to make that like a lot easier is well, I like Boomerang, where Boomerang is this thing where if you have an email, you can send it back to you in like some amount of time. Like so say like I ask like our graphic designer John to do something, I can then be like, oh, if no one's responded in a week, bring it back to me, and then I can like keep track of like all the things that I've asked people to do and if they've actually done them, or like if something I need to respond to but I don't need to respond right now, like I need to wait until I have like some sort of information, I could just be like, yeah, just put this back in the inbox in 1 month, I'll deal with it then. So yeah, I like that. And I also like this Gmail Notes thing where that one's really cool, especially when I'm learning to work more with Nick, where like I have a label that Nick looks at. So Nick never looks at like the actual inbox, he looks at the Nick inbox. So I will tag something with his label, and then I will put in the notes like why exactly he needs to do, or like why am I tagging it. I could be like, hey, just what are your thoughts on this thing, or like can you actually ship out this thing, or you know, whatever it is. So like he actually does the thing that I want him to do with it, and he doesn't have to guess, and it's just faster, and It's also easier to delegate because that's a thing I've not been great at doing. So like actually learning to delegate to Nick and also our booth manager Justin. Like I haven't had a lot of brain power this week, so I can just be like, Justin, what do you think about this thing? And then like it's done, it's out of the inbox, and Justin can like tell me his thoughts, even though like I don't have thoughts right now. So I can be kind of productive without having a brain.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah, I was also, so for me, I was getting our new storage unit for games set up. We received 7 pallets of our older games from our consignment partner, PSI. Those were not selling there, so now they're in our long-term storage at our storage unit. So when you're running a small business, saving money is very important. So we found that storing them here is much easier. So that's how I'm able to take the games and put them onto Amazon to make sure people are able to get our older games that were just sitting in a warehouse before, and you really couldn't get them. So now retailers and people at home can get our older games that are out there on weirdgiraffegames.com/catalog. You can check out what we've got and let me know if you want to get some of those, because we have them all here.
Yeah, like we had some issues with our consolidator where they just weren't selling anything that was old. Like, and by old I mean like didn't release in the last like 6 months, and it's like, why? Games are still good.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ridiculous because all of our games are really good, and the problem is now just people either can't find them or just hadn't heard about them yet. So that's what we're working on, is making sure people can find them and making sure people are hearing about some games that you're going to love playing. Because we spend a lot of time working on them.
Putting things more in our hands than relying on somebody else to do the things that we think that they're doing. Because like that's one of the issues that we've had over the years, is like we always think that people are doing things and then we find out later that they didn't.
Yep.
And if we had just found out like initially, like we wouldn't run into a lot of issues. But
yeah, so if you have any tips on working with people to make sure you are communicating correctly and have common understandings, throw a comment in below and let us know, because we're still learning how to do that.
I mean, we've been learning for like, I don't know, our whole lives. Communication is hard. So other than that, like we're also, I keep talking with manufacturing and somehow they keep finding issues, probably because we keep changing people that we're working with. So like somehow they all have different standards, and
for Reef and Ruins and Sloths.
And the Wicked and Wise Reflections,
Whoa.
the expansion. Yeah. So yeah. But like other minor things are like just making time to keep up with people, because I have this problem where like, well, I have ADHD, and so if I don't see someone, I kind of forget that they exist. But I shouldn't do that. I should reach out to all the people I know on a regular basis. And then like that's also really good because like we work from home and we don't get to see people, but it can kind of like feel like I am alone and have no friends if I don't see anyone. So to keep up with like the mental health and stuff, I've been trying to like talk to people for, I don't know, like half an hour a day at least.
Yeah.
So
we are getting ready to potentially go travel somewhere. Are you ready?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not, because we're not leaving yet. Obviously we're not. Nick just asked these questions, and it's like, you know the answer to this. You haven't packed your bags yet, but I am. Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't
yeah.
packed your bags. He also is not great at listening, obviously. But I am setting up, like, reaching out to people and seeing when they're free so that we can hang out and, like, have a good time when we travel, instead of just, like, being in a different location and being like, well, it would be cool if there's people around that weren't busy. So, yeah.
We're going to be in Seattle and Portland next week.
Yeah.
So super excited to see everybody out on the West Coast.
So, yeah. But what about, that's, like, what we did in work. But we also played some games this week. We learned Maracaibo on the co-op mode, which was kind of cool because there's like this new thing going around where like these Euros come out with an expansion that is co-op, and I haven't played one of those yet. So like learning Maracaibo from the co-op mode, I was told was easier. Well, at least by the person teaching it, which they should probably know.
Yeah.
But I am excited to do the competitive mode because, yeah, I think, well, it was designed competitively, so it might be better that way. Co-op was fine, though. Anyway.
Down in front, Klaus.
We have Klaus here, and Nick is going to go on to, I think you played Root.
Yeah, so I played Root this week. I was the River Otters, and it was really neat to see how they brought this different aspect of essentially sales and capitalism into a war game, and how people can trade their warriors for cards from the Otter faction. I really enjoyed playing the Otters, and I almost won, but the freaking birds. We weren't able to get them into turmoil, so birds are very, very powerful if you can't stop them. So, but I really enjoyed playing Root, and I'm playing through all the factions with this game group, so that's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. We also got to play the Button Shy X-Files, which is nice because I really like Button Shy games because usually they're pretty easy. You could just take them out and learn them and play them in like 20 minutes or half an hour or something. So that's always nice. But one of the things that we've been discussing and not having a good answer for is the name for the Logic and Larks or whatever it is. I'm kind of calling it Too Logic, Too Lore in my notes, which is not a great title for anyone.
Ship it. Best title ever.
I mean, that's the sequel title for any game that I would do because, like, I mean, Too Fast, Too Furious. They were... It was just a great name. They should be used for everything, except not really. I don't know. We had a couple different ideas for it. Like, Wisdom and Worms was suggested, but, like, that's also W and W, and we have Wicked and Wise.
Oh, no. This is back.
Drakes and Deduction. That could be. But it could also be something else. So if you have any other, like, suggestions for a deduction logic type game that's in the Logic and Lore universe that's kind of about mythical bird watching, so comment, let us know.
In this
maybe
game,
you could be the one that names it.
Right now, the theme is that you've got a Polaroid picture that you've taken of a mythical creature on a land that has some attributes, and you're sharing with your friends, and they're sharing their Polaroid pictures and showing, is this similar to what you saw? And trying to guess that picture of what you saw without ever looking at it based on comparing it to pictures that they saw. So it was a similar mythical being or aspect of it. So we're looking for names. What could that be?
And like I had like this great insight from Pokemon, because I don't know how many of you grew up with Pokemon, but I think it's like the first episode of Pokemon, Ash sees like a ho-ho in the sky, but it is just like the silhouette of it, and like the Pokedex doesn't know what it is because it's a mythical creature. So that's basically the inspiration behind this is Pokemon episode 1, where like you see a silhouette in the sky of something, and you're trying to just figure out what it is or figure out what your friends saw. So yeah, if you have good names for that, or like comments on anything else or advice or whatever, comment, let us know. And we'll be back next week with more stuff, more things we learned, hopefully, maybe there'll be a week where we don't learn anything and it will be great.
Yeah, maybe next week
stress.
We'll be on site in Seattle or Portland for this.
I mean, it will be.
It's crazy.
So, yeah.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
See ya, bye.